And thank you so much for gathering with us this evening. And I first just wanted to start by saying that writing the letter that you guys received today was one of the hardest things that I have written. I'm so sad and heartbroken that we had to share that we had to cancel all in-person activities held at CYJ this summer. We know for everyone on this call that today has been a day of a lot of emotion, from sadness and disappointment, potentially anger, frustration. We want you guys to know that when you signed up for CYJ, whenever you signed up for CYJ, you became a part of our family, and not just for one summer. You became a part of our family forever. And we are here for each of you today and any other point after this. Throughout this presentation, if you have any questions, in the chat box below, please chat them to the questions person, and we will answer them near the end of this presentation. So tonight we're gonna focus a little bit on how and why this decision was made, and address some of the topics that we know are on your mind right now. We're gonna talk about what's next, and take any additional questions that this community has, and we will try to answer them all here. So before I go any further, I'm going to introduce Brian Jaffe, who is the president of the board of directors, and he is going to share just a few words right now. So Brian, you can go ahead and unmute if you are there.
Great, thanks, Robin. And really, on behalf of the entire CYJ board, I just wanted to join Robin in welcoming you and thanking you for being with us tonight. And we hope that over the next hour or so we can walk through the decision that was made and answer all of your questions. I just want to take a moment on behalf of the entire board to thank Robin and the entire staff, Gabby, Aaron, Kevin, and Michael. Robin will fill in the details, but there's a tremendous amount of work that's gone into camp over the past 8 weeks. Under normal circumstances, it takes a lot of work to put camp together, but to essentially convert the programming to the kind of virtual programming that so many of you have seen over the last 2 months, all the work that went into staying in touch with our families, and of course the work that went into gathering and compiling the information that helped us make the difficult decision that we're going to talk about tonight. It was all above and beyond, and just again on behalf of the board, we really want to thank Robin and the staff. And I'd also like to thank my fellow board members while I have an opportunity on this call for all of their dedication and hard work during this period. But before I kick it back to Robin, I just want to emphasize we have a real star in Robin Anderson as our director. This has been probably the toughest period of her career, and she has handled it with enormous grace and has been great under pressure. And has shown real leadership, and it bodes well for the future, because the message that I think we can discuss tonight and that we can send out is that when camp comes back, we'll be back together next summer. That you've got a director who is looking out for families, who is keeping health and safety as the #1 priority, but also cares so much about the mission of this camp and the experience that our children and our families have, and that is precious beyond words. So thank you very much, Robin, for everything, and thank you again to Gabby and Aaron and Kevin and Michael. And Robin, let me turn it back to you.
Thanks, Brian. So as you can see here, this was the professional staff that has been working so hard over these past number of weeks. I wanted to, you know, take a minute to thank the team that is shown on the screen here. The assistant directors, Gabby and Aaron, have spent countless hours putting together contingency plans for our staff and campers of every possible scenario that we could think of to try to get camp going this summer. And to Kevin, our marketing and communications manager, he has worked tirelessly to create and implement amazing CYJ at home programming for our community. And to Michael Lala, who is our maintenance director, he has been working up at our Wapaka site, cleaning and painting and building and really getting our facilities ready for another season. So thank you guys so much. So I wanted to start here where, you know, starting in March, we began working with a number of different people to kind of monitor the COVID-19 situation. We consulted with the CDC, with the American Camp Association. We talked to the state of Wisconsin, Wapaka County Public Health. We talked to the Foundation for Jewish Camp. We talked to medical professionals. We talked to other camp professionals, including our Young Judea partners around the country. And through all of this, most of our country was being put in shelter-in-place restrictions. And it was important for our team to look at every possible scenario, understand the different risks, and consider many different questions out there. We really wanted to understand our needs to open camp. And we spent hours and days and weeks considering what is needed for our medical staff this year. Can we create a bubble at camp? Will testing be available to our community? Would we have to compromise our values this summer? And the list goes on and on. I recently showed a presentation to our board of directors, and I think the 2 or 3 pages of questions that we had thought about, and it wasn't even all of the questions we had thought about. As we went through this, we continued to monitor federal, state, and local guidelines through the month of April and May. And we really worked with our colleagues on how we could make this work for the 2020 season. And the decision was finally made because the health and safety of our community is our top priority and our highest priority. The bottom line for us was that there were too many known and unknown risks for us to create an acceptable pathway forward for this summer. And I am so sorry that we were not able to find a way. And it was, we really looked through every possible scenario. And this, we really, at the end of the day, knew that this was 100% the right decision for this community. You know, I was thinking about, as I was putting this presentation together, some of the questions that this group and our families would ask me or would ask our team or our board through this process. So I want to take a minute now to kind of answer some of these questions. I just explained a little bit about what went into our decision, but we felt that now was the right time to make the decision because we saw too many known and unknown risks for the summer. We didn't see a path to open for either session. And it was really important for us to allow our families time to hear the news and be able to work through emotions that we knew were going to be there. We were thinking through this whole process about what our first-time campers were going to feel and what our second-year Mahon and Bogrim were going to feel. We know that our first-year campers were so anxious and excited to spend time in Wapaka. We hope that these campers, along with all of our returning campers, will join our online programming going forward to meet their current and future bunkmates and their future counselors. And we cannot wait to welcome them in 2021 in Wapaka. And I know that this is particularly sad for the families of the second-year Mahon and Bogrim campers who have probably been counting down the days since they got on the bus in 2019 and got home. And we want you to know that for those families and for those campers, that there will be two options for them in 2021. That they will have the opportunity to attend Tel Yehuda in New York if they wish, or they can return to CYJ for a final summer. And it might look a little different for them, as camp might for everyone across the country. However, we know it is so important and how important those memories of those last summers are. We know that there are some campers on here, so hi to all of you. For the parents out there, we know this is a really hard topic to discuss with your kid and with your child. We shared a document on the email today about tips on ways to help your child cope with this. It will also be on our website. It is on our website right now. Take a minute to listen to them, to hear their thoughts. Let them know that it's okay to feel the way that they feel. Some campers are going to need space. They're going to need time to work through those emotions and thoughts, and that is okay. Some kids might cry. Some kids might get really angry. I have 3 very different children in my house that had very, very different emotions today about, even though they have been hearing many of these discussions, about how they handled it. Whether my 6-year-old, who has grown up and was not even going to be a camper and started crying when I told her that she wouldn't be there, to my middle son that just said, of course we can't go this summer, but how am I going to celebrate my birthday not at camp this summer? To my oldest, who just got really angry, and everything in between. So I want you to know that all of those emotions are normal, and actually everyone on the full-time staff and the board of directors are going through all of those emotions as well. We're going to continue to offer CYJ at home programming for everybody. We're going to be reaching out to you in the next couple of weeks to find out what you would like offered during the summer. We're discussing a lot of different virtual options, but we know that every family has different needs and different wants, and we want to be here to be supportive for both our parents and our campers. It's also important to share, too, the financial ramifications of this decision today and looking forward are significant. Having campers with us for the summer is not only what brings life to CYJ, but it also supports the year-round upkeep of the camp and the programming and the recruitment that happens day in and day out. Just like there sadly will be businesses across the country who don't survive the impact of COVID-19, this will also be true with some camps. We are confident that this will not be our fate, but we do think it's important for us to express this impact to you. And with that being said, we will be sending an email next week outlining the different options for our families and their camp tuition fees. Families will be able to pick and choose between donating part or all of their tuition, which will be matched dollar for dollar by the Harold Grinspoon Foundation. They can roll over their fees to the 2021 season and or request a full refund. We know that each family is different. However, we hope that everyone will consider supporting financially CYJ at whatever level they can. We have seen the love today and beyond from you, our camp families, and we know that each member of our community is dedicated to CYJ. So what happens next? This week, we're gonna be hosting, sorry, some yelling in my house right now. We will be hosting ADA gatherings this Wednesday and Thursday to help our campers process the decision and provide support for them. On Wednesday, we are going to be offering it for our Ofarim campers, our entering 1st through 4th graders. And on Thursday, there will be different times for our Arazim and Mahon Bogreen campers. Please look at, you can find the links on the email today, and we will also be resending them so that you guys can sign up. Those are for the campers only, to process with me, with Gabby and Aaron, to be able to ask questions that they might not feel comfortable asking to other people, and we just want them to have the opportunity to be together. There will also be time next week where we're going to be offering bunk meetups with different bunks from 2019 and some from 2020. of being able to have the experience to just be together with their bunk and with some of their previous counselors. We're also going to ask that if you can, join us for our community-wide Kabbalat Shabbat and Shir Ashketah session this Friday at 6 p.m. It's going to be wonderful. Some of our seasonal staff will be on there, and Gabby and Aaron are going to be leading that with, it's going to be beautiful. And we want you to continue to share your feedback about our CYJ at Home programming and let us know what else you're interested in seeing. So with that, Kevin, I'm going to ask you if there are any questions. If anyone has questions, please feel free to chat them in. Kevin, are there any questions that have come in during this process?
A couple of funny questions, but the one serious question so was something that you had already mentioned, and that was for kids that are aging out of camp, will they be able to come back potentially next year?
Thank you. I know that that was, I'm probably got at least 3 or 4 texts today from different people asking me that pretty specific question today. And so we felt as a team and as a community that it was really, really important that those campers have that last experience. So I'm glad that we'll be able to offer it for the campers that do want it in 2021. With that being said, I know that we will continue our connection because this camp and this community takes care of each other 12 months a year. We were supposed to celebrate our 50th season in 2020, and we are going to celebrate our 50th season in 2021. Our hearts are broken tonight, but we are going to heal together, and CYJ is stronger together. Thank you to everyone on this call for supporting us through all of this, for loving CYJ, for putting your trust in us, and for being partners in the past, present, and future of our community. We are only as strong as the support that you give us. And based on the support that we have felt today and before this, that we know that we will get through this. And so I thank you guys so much for spending just a few minutes with us. We just wanted to share this with you, and we are here for you if you need anything. Please feel free to reach out to us, to call any of us, email any of us. We are here. And lastly, you will hear from us sometime this week. We will be calling every single one of our families to check in, to see how your kids are, to see how you are. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a good evening, and I am sending strength and love from me and my family to everyone on this call.